All right, man. Sketchpad Podcast, man. We back. Torture Talk. We back. Combat Convo. All that good stuff, man. Sketchpad Reactions. Look, I want to talk about the war has not ended between Drake and Kendrick. And maybe not, it's not, to me, it's not ended as in they're going to be dissing each other. This is always going to be a power struggle between the two, even if it's not said. Not even through subliminals. It's always going to be that dynamic between the two. Even like with Jay and Nas. Jay and Nas don't beef no more, but people still have that dynamic between the two. So I want to talk about that and who I think is ultimately going to prevail. I know a lot of people give me flack and shit for saying that Jay won in the beginning, but then Nas came back, and now Nas is winning the war between the two. Nas has won to me. I don't think Jay's gonna come out with anything that's better than Nas's last couple of runs. As far as Kendrick goes, see, this is a very, 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 very complicated dynamic between the two because they're both successful, right? One is much more popular than the other. One is much more, I would say, and I hate to reduce Drake to this, but one is more cookie cutter than the other. One is more baking ingredients. One is more cookie cutter. And again, no disrespect to Drake and his fans, but that's how it is when it comes to Kendrick versus Drake, right? But there is an element to Drake that is very needed. And I think a lot of people got to understand this, right? And then I'm going to talk about Kendrick. The element of Drake is he is the relatable guy when it comes to certain topics and issues that people go through in a normal relationship or type of, how would I say this? A type of situation that people find themselves into when it comes to Drake. Kendrick, on the other hand, is the culture, is the people who relate to him that feel much more in tune to the streets, to the bigotry and oppression and all that stuff that people go through in America. And the reason why this is very complicated and it's very, very interesting is the fact that the two come from two different backgrounds. But one is much more respected in the culture. The other one is respected in the culture as well, but only for being a hit maker. Because I remember when rap used to be a thing where people used to hate commercial music. And then Puffy, Biggie, and certain artists came around, Dre, Snoop, and they made commercial music actually fun to listen to. And you didn't feel neglected or you didn't feel left out because the content was still the same, but the beats was much more commercial, was up-tempo, wasn't as dark and wasn't as eerie. So you had Hypnotize and you had Gin and Juice and stuff like that. That made it more acceptable to people's ears, right? With Drake, he has that. He has that. You have to admit it, he has that. But what he lacks is the content that a lot of people had, like Biggie and Snoop and all them back in the day. He has the cookie cutter content. And what I mean by that is, and there's no disrespect, but the cookie cutter content is basically, you like a girl, I like a girl, oh, your girl cheated on you, oh, she cheated on me too. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick, on the other hand, is the same, but his ingredients is much more deeper rooted than just saying you have a girl, I have a girl. Now it's you have a girl, What's your girl's name? What does she do for a living? I have a girl. What's my girl name? What does she do for a living? Oh, your girl. Oh, she cheated on you because what? Oh, you cheated on your girl because of this or because of that? That's where Kendrick comes in at. It's much more deeper into the story. You know what I'm saying? You read in a book and he's much more, how would I say this? Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. I don't know if you guys ever heard of George R.R. Martin. He's the guy that wrote Game of Thrones. That's Kendrick Lamar. Stephen King is Drake. It's a perfect example. Stephen King, I don't know if you ever heard of Stephen King. Stephen King is not really necessarily a deep writer in his stuff. He's straight to the point, which is pretty good. But George R.R. Martin, he goes much more deeper into the story. You know what I'm saying? Much more deeper. And that's the thing. So this is what I see about the two. And that's why I said this war is never going to end because people online is going to keep it going. Now, ultimately, I believe that Kendrick Lamar is going to prevail. And again, it's no disrespect to Drake's fans. The reason why is because usually cookie cutter stuff, you have to constantly keep doing it. Kendrick Lamar can stop today and he will always be revered better than Drake if he stops today. And I'm not just saying for Drake fans, because Drake fans, no matter what, y'all gonna say that Kendrick is not better. But what I'm saying to you is, for the most part, across the board, if you had to take a poll, most people are going to say that if we had played both of their music, they're going to say that Kendrick is better than Drake. That's what most people are going to say. You know what I'm saying? Now, is it going to be something like, well, most people are going to say that Kendrick and Drake can battle forever and it goes down that way? I'm saying that I believe that Drake is not going to be able to keep up with the longevity of Kendrick Lamar. That's what I'm saying. So, in closing, I will say this. Kendrick is what I call an enigma. And it's very, very complicated to figure him out. You never know what he's going to do. Now, Drake, on the other hand, we kind of know what he's going to do. Everybody expected it. So, I believe Kendrick is going to prevail in this war. And I think that that's what it's going to be. So, make sure y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, all that good stuff. Thank y'all for subscribing. Thank y'all for doing everything. We appreciate y'all. See y'all. Peace. Bye.